Hello friends, this is Wendy with Love and Stampin', and we are going to use the Window Wishes bundle today. This bundle is so cute and it makes a little framed window and then you can decorate it up however you want. I just love this bundle. If you want to get this bundle, there's a link below the video where you can purchase it. Now let's make a couple of cards, shall we? So we're starting out making a frame for the whole idea I have for this first card. And by the way, I do have my door open on my office. You might be able to hear the birds in the background. So if you do and they're frustrating for you, I'm super sorry, but I needed to have fresh air in my office today. It's been very, very hot here. So I was very much looking forward to having my windows open during this kind of fallish weather that we're having. All right, now I've sped the video way up because this video was originally an hour long. And you know, we all have things to do, don't we? So here I am going to mask off a little circle for a moon. And then I use Daffodil Delight to ink around it. And then I'm going to stamp a little hillside. And then we're going to do some more ink blending. And we're just creating a little scene as if you were looking out a window at a scene that had, you know, some rolling hills and a moonscape. I was really going for a nighttime scene here. In creating this card, I really had in my head the vision of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but it is a staple in our house. We watch it every single year, and it's like not optional. You have to watch that movie at Christmas time in our house. In fact, we probably watch it 3 to 4 times before the Christmas season is over. We love it. So here I'm removing that mask for that magic window look, or masked look. And then I added a little bit of detail with my light smoky slate so that the moon just wasn't totally barren. And then I'm just kind of continuing to go over and put the mask on top of this so that I can have a concept of where everything's going to go. Here I needed to create an acetate window sheet because I'm making this a shaker card. So I took a piece of acetate. You can use window sheets from Stampin' Up, or you can just use an old piece of window sheet from a stamp set. That works too, acetate. And I'm just trimming it down to fit that frame. And then I added the black frame on the inside. So in my head, this was like a farmhouse look that I was going for on the outside. You know, very popular now is to have the black windows with the white trim. So that's kind of where my head was at with how I was trimming out this window. And then I had to stamp all the parts for the inside of the window. So here we have the red station wagon, which is what made me think of National Lampoon's. And I'm just going over it with a cherry cobbler Stampin' Blends in a few areas to add a little bit of shading. I'm using light balmy blue to cover the windows. And then we're going to die cut all these pieces. And the rest of this card is basically assembly until I get to where I am going to emboss the background. So this card that I'm showing you is a little more complex. The card that I'm going to show you, the next card at the end of this video, is a little more simple. So if you don't vibe this card, that's okay, because I got another one for you that's a little more simple for a basic stamper. Here I'm using soft succulent ink to stamp the garland that goes around the window. And then I don't remember what I do next because I recorded this video for you a long time ago. This video was recorded when I had the idea in my head to make this card, okay? Oh, here I just want to show you. Somehow I bent that garland, so it wasn't lining up with the die correctly. So when you have a polymer stamp set that is like arched or whatever, you really want to make sure you're careful about how you lay it down so that it will cut right. So I had to restamp this, and the way I did it is I stamped it on grid paper with just the excess ink that was left over. line the die up to make sure it would work correctly, and then I went ahead and stamped again. So fixable. I didn't have to like redo anything except just restamping. I already had this in place, so it was totally easy to do that. Not a big deal at all. And then this did line up with the dies perfectly, and I was able to cut it out no problem. So we're going to die cut this, and then we're going to move on to the next steps of this card. I'm going to hop back and forth between the card. For those of you who might be new around here, we like to have Saturday story time, so we're going to have that today. If you are not new, you're going to enjoy this like you always do. If you are new, this may not be your jam. You're welcome to mute or listen to music while you watch me assemble this card. That's totally fine. We won't be offended. Not everybody loves story time. That's okay. That's what we do here. So it's a little different than probably most YouTube videos with card makers that you've seen, because yeah, I do Saturday story time chit chat. So what's going on in our world? Well, last weekend we had my husband's grandmother's 100th birthday. We've already talked about that. But I thought I would share with you how it all went because we were leading up to it. So Friday, we went over to the church. We did two things. We did something in the church in the morning so that people in the community could come say hello to her because, you know, she's lived here a very long time. And then we did a separate family gathering at my mother-in-law's house in the evening. I offered to do all the desserts for the event at the church because I love baking and I just really wanted to do that. That was like my gift to his grandma and to my mother-in-law because she had a lot to manage. So I got to the church on Friday and set up my dessert table, like the decoration part and everything. Went back Saturday morning, took the desserts over. I thought I was going to lose my mind. It was just extremely busy. Lots going on, lots of people everywhere, and it was a lot to manage. Back to the card. Here I used this little frame piece to put on the black piece that you see there. So I cut this out multiple times. There is a reason. I did this because I wanted to make sure that the image I'm going to glue down was in the right spot. So this piece here is acting like a guide for my focal piece that's going to go in the center. Does that make sense? So I hope that makes sense. So that's why I laid that frame down. There's literally no other reason except that. I just needed to know that everything was going to line up correctly. So here I'm using foam tape going around the edges to create a barricade for my sequins. So anyway, Saturday was very long, very busy. Everybody was very tired through the event. My daughter made the cake. She did a 2-tier cake. She's very good at making cakes, although she said this was her last one. She doesn't want to make anymore. So, yeah, so it has been a busy, busy weekend. And then Sunday, my whole focus Sunday was rest and relaxation. I didn't want to do anything I didn't want to do, if that makes sense. I wanted to rest. I wanted to just enjoy my day, and I just wanted to do whatever I felt like doing. So no pressure or anything like that. And it was a beautiful day. We ended up getting up in the morning, getting in the hot tub. All of us did as a family. And then here I'm just adding Wink Stella to all the things because I like making them shiny. And then I spent the day cleaning and purging. I have been obsessed with this YouTube creator lately. Her name is The Minimal Mom is the name of her channel. And it's all about like purging and cleaning and living more minimalistic, which I love the idea of. I think we all accumulate and have too much stuff, just stuff. And I always think like, when I leave this earth, I don't want my daughter to feel or be stuck with all this stuff and like feel guilty like she has to keep it. So I feel like I'm just doing her a favor by getting rid of junk now that honestly would just be getting rid of later. So if I don't use it, I'm getting rid of it. And it has felt wonderful. We decorated for fall on Sunday. I made vegetable beef stew and taco soup. And yeah, it was a very productive but also very relaxing day. I think I told you in a previous video, I have pulled out all of my summer vegetables and I've planted a fall garden and it is doing well. I already have stuff coming up. So I planted kale, romaine lettuce, carrots, cabbage. I planted more zucchinis. We'll see if they come up. I don't know. There's plants there, but I don't know that they're going to produce fruit. Might be getting too cold for them. But I live in zone 9B, so it stays pretty warm here pretty late into the year. So I might get away with it. I don't know. It's just kind of an experiment. So anyway, that's what I did on Sunday, and it was wonderful. So what is happening this week? We have all kinds of things. Water polo games, water polo tournaments, orthodontist visit because my daughter is getting Invisalign. You know, it never ends. There's just always stuff going. The dentist was like, you could go Invisalign or you could go braces. It's going to cost the same, or the orthodontist, I should say. Either one that you do, we don't charge more for one or the other. And he was like, honestly, if it were me, if I was her dad, I would want her to have Invisalign because she plays water polo. So his thing was getting hit in the mouth with braces is going to be much more painful than getting hit in the mouth with Invisalign. And I agree with him because I had braces. So we're going with Invisalign and we're going to get all of the things done this week that have to get done. Like, I don't know, they take photos, they do measurements, they scan her mouth, they like do this whole thing. It's a big long appointment. Anyway, we're going tomorrow, and not tomorrow when you're watching this video, but at the time of recording this. So by the time you see this video, we will have already been done with our orthodontist appointment. Anyway, so yes, getting Invisalign. So that's happening. And I'm trying to think of what else is going on this week. I don't know. There's a lot. I did have plans to do a World Card Making Day event and have some sort of thing at my house and then possibly do something fun online here with you guys. And it turns out that I found out a good friend of mine's daughter's baby shower is that day. So there's that. So I won't be doing anything except going to a baby shower. And however, Stampin UP is hosting a World Card Making Day event that is free to everybody. So if you're interested in attending that, I will be attending the first part of it, but then I'm going to have to leave before it's over. If you're interested in attending that, I will link it below this video so that you can like sign up, and you don't even have to sign up. You can just show up, but I don't know where you show up at. So I'll get the info to you. If you want the info, I'll get the info to you. Just message me, but I'll also put a link below the video that will hopefully have info. Here, back to the card, we are using the Smoky Slate ink pad to stamp onto the raised portion of this brick and mortar embossing folder. And then I'm running it through my embossing machine, and the result is fantabulous. I love how it turned out. It is so pretty. So I'm obviously over at my machine right now running it through, and I didn't edit this part of the video out. There it is. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I love it. I love it. I was so pleased with how this turned out. So now we're just putting the finishing touches on the card. And I have to tell you, with stuff like this, like with the embossing folder and the brick, not something... Sometimes I avoid doing certain things with my cards because I don't want to waste time. What do I mean by that? What I'm saying is, like, in my head, this was going to be a really cool idea to do the embossing folder with the Smoky Slate, but I wasn't 100% sure that it was going to turn out right. So I went ahead and did it anyway. There are lots of times where I just don't do what I have in my head because I'm like, I don't know if that's going to turn out right, and I don't want to waste my time. I wish I wasn't like that. I need to be better about just trying it, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. End of story. Okay, moving to the next card. That was quick. So here we are going to just stamp a sentiment. This card is super simple. We're just stamping a sentiment. Again, this is all from the Window Wishes. So this, I'm using shaded spruce to stamp my sentiment. And then I've got a stitched rectangle die that I'm going to use. And here I am going to die cut a little slit with this little snow slope. So I'm just going to run this through my machine and die cut this slit, and that will allow me to tuck little houses and trees and stuff inside there. Really, really simple. You could do lots of things with this when you cut a little slit like this, but I'll show you what I'm doing with it today. So here I've already pre-stamped and cut my houses out, and I'm just going to stamp some trees behind it. I'm stamping in, I think, smoky slate, and I'm using my stitch rectangle to stamp off on first before I stamped my tree, because I'm covering that portion up. So it didn't really matter that I'm stamping on it, is my point. Here I tucked it into the slit, and then I just have to put the roof on the house and add all of my trees. I am sorry, I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm not stuffy, but there's like something in the air, and I've been sneezing like crazy and yawning a bunch, but I'm not sick. I feel fine, and yeah, I feel fine. I just, for whatever reason, there's something in the air. It's probably because the wind blew the day that I'm recording this. The day before it, the wind blew like crazy here. So I'm sure it stirred up all kinds of fun, lovely things. So here I'm just continuing to add all of these trees, and I'm calling this card good. We're going to add the lid, or the roof, I should say. And then we're going to assemble this card, and it's going to be finished. And it's a very cute, but it's a very simple, and it's even cuter in person, I have to say. When I was looking at the photos of it, I was like, this doesn't really look like that cute of a card, but when I look at it in person, it's adorable. You know how things are that are like that. So we've got World Card Making Day coming next weekend, October 1st. We have a little fun thing that I'm going to be announcing. Well, by the time you're watching this video, you probably will have seen it. So we'll talk about it. I'm going to start doing free online card classes here on YouTube once a month. So stay tuned for that. It will be on the 4th Thursday of the month at noon, and it will be on YouTube Live. So that is coming, and now that I've told you about it, I have to make it happen. Oh, scary things. Okay, here I'm using Pool Party, and I'm using the little snow image out of this set, and I'm stamping all over this, right over the top of the house, right over the top of the trees, because if it was snowing in real life, the snow would be on top of the house and on top of the trees, right? It would not like just fall behind them. So stamping over the top of everything. And when I was using my gel pen for the previous card, I also put snow right on top of the car and everything. So don't be afraid to do that, because that's how it would really be. Not that this is a very realistic card, but I'm just saying. So here I'm using Wink Stella to cover all these trees to make them shimmery, which I love. And then this card's finished. All I have to do is add it to a card base, and it's done. And it's so sweet. I love it. So that's it. There we go. Finished card. Beautiful, right? And this is the other one. I hope you guys had fun hanging out with me today. I always have fun hanging out with you. I appreciate you so much. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and if you need any of the products I used, you can shop at shoploveandstampin.com, and links are in the description below the video. Make sure you check out my blog, because there's more photos of other cards. Bye-bye.